Hello my wonderful friends, it's my pleasure to welcome you to yet another interesting segment of our tutorial study on the preparation of our own conduit layout, which will be done with the help of the electrical floor plan prepared by the architect. I told you in our previous tutorial video, that the architect has done his work and it is your duty as an electrician to prepare yours to execute your own in order to help you in the execution of your own electrical piping and routing and every other thing that's needed to be installed in that particular building, which we are going to commence the work. Now, today we are looking at the addition of other things. In our previous video, we talked about the lighting point, the routing of the lighting point. So, if you've not watched the video, our previous video in the first segment, I would like you to check the link. The link is in the description of this particular tutorial video. Check it, watch it so that you'll be able to know what we are doing here. So if you are a beginner, let me start by saying that you firstly prepare. When you are preparing this, after finishing the one for your lighting point, the next thing you do is to check for errors. Check if there are errors. If there are no errors, you go ahead with the preparation or the routing of your socket, the 13 amp socket. Then after which you move ahead with the things like the heavier loads, like the kitchen the cooker unit at the kitchen, the ACs, the water heater, and this other thing, so that by the time you finish, you'll be able to sum up the total of the sum total of all the circuits needed in that particular building before you go ahead for your GB. But for today, we are going to concentrate with the selection, with the routing of the socket outlet, then the socket outlet, the heavier loads, the circuit for heavier loads. Then before the end of this video, or at the very end of this video, I'm going to show you a secret. There are things that I'm going to show you, especially for those of you that will just click on the video and go and move ahead without watching the video to the end. So I'm going to give those of you that watch the video. So try as much as you can to watch this video to the very end, because you are going to get something very interesting. In our previous video, we talked about this circuit. We talked about connecting the lighting points this way. All this are one circuit, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, one circuit. Then over here we had one circuit, and the first circuit is connected here. Look at the first circuit. Look at the first circuit. This links it to the DB. Then our second circuit is this. This is the second circuit. Starting from here, this is the first light, second light, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Then we had this is second circuit. The third circuit was the security lighting point, which was 9. We counted, I think it's 9 in number. The lighting points are 9 in number, and from here we link to the DB. So 1, 2, 3. And our fourth circuit is the sitting room. So I want you to take a closer look at this sitting room. This sitting room, I think we omitted something here in this sitting room, and that I'm going to correct now. So the routing is okay, it's very correct, but for instance, we're supposed to put a box here for the chandelier. We're supposed to put a box here for the chandelier, though we were rushing. We were trying to be rushy so that we don't take much of our time, because the video already took time. So here we're going to connect this to our chandelier. So if we want our chandelier to be here, we can connect the chandelier here. Then if you want to put another box here for the chandelier, another switch here for the chandelier, it will be okay. Then from here, we can link to the chandelier through this way, because when the mains get to this point, you can connect a branch that can go this way to on the chandelier. We can also, if you want to put fan as well, the fan can also, since the fan hook is here, it can also go that way to get to the fan. But if there are no fan, if we also want to put something like spotlights, beauty lights for aesthetic purposes, we can put it, it will go this way. We can get up to 2 circuits, 2 branches here. One will take care of the design, or even 3. You can go that way and come here. So if we want to add that, putting this alone and this extra box here will take care of that. So we shouldn't be bothering about putting 2 boxes or 3 boxes. No, 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 no. Don't do that, because presently most of the modern houses that we build nowadays, what we normally do is, at this point, what we do is just to connect another switch here, a switch box, you understand, or 3x3 box that will be used to control this. Here we can have two gangs. The switch can be 2 gangs or 3 gangs if that is the only chandelier, this branch and this branch, while this can control these 2 lighting points as a gang. Now I will be cleaning off this. I'm going to remove this for the lighting point. I'm going to erase the routing so that I will be able to focus on the socket. I don't want this to confuse you. So if you want to prepare this, you can prepare this on a different sketch, and also prepare a different one for the socket outlet. For clarity purposes, I'm going to be indicating to you where we firstly have our switches. So in order to install 2 switches that are close to each other, make sure that they are far apart by 2 inches at least. In each room, we are going to place 2 or 3 socket outlets, for instance. And let's start from the master's bedroom, and I will be using another color for clarity purposes. So here is the master's bedroom. Here in the master's bedroom, we assume that this part is going to be for the television. Our television will be mounted somewhere here, so somewhere here, somewhere this area. So we're going to have a socket outlet here. This is going to be one socket outlet. Then close to the bed, this is a switch that was close to the bed, or that is close to the bed. So here we're going to have a socket outlet. I don't want you to bother yourself with the background sound because we are close to a site here. So now I want you to take note of this. This is a socket outlet. This is another socket outlet. So we can put 3 or 4 here. So another socket outlet can come over here, somewhere here. Let's just assume that we have 3 here. Now at the entrance to the house, entrance to the house, let's say we have 1 socket outlet here. Let's say we have 1 socket outlet here, or 2 socket outlets. Both of them are 13 amp sockets. So here, this is the bathroom or the toilet. So we're not putting any sockets in the toilet, you know that. Then here is another bedroom. Here is another bedroom. So in this bedroom, let's put 2. Let's put 2. Close to this part. If there's any television, it will be here. This is the wall hanger. This is another. This is 1 socket here. This is another socket for this room. We are putting 2 here. Over here, we have 1 here. We have another one this side. So for this walkway, we are not putting any socket outlet there. Then for this balcony, let's put 1 socket outlet. So the store, should we have any socket outlets in the store? So this is the store. Here is the kitchen. Here in the kitchen, let's assume that we have 13 amp sockets as well as 15 amp socket. But for now, let's take 1 to 13 amp socket for charging of our phone. Yes, let's take 1 13 amp socket for charging our phone. And okay, let's leave that one. Then here at the dining, let's put 1 or 2. 1 here, 1 here. Remember, this one is switch. So here at the sitting room, we are going to have enough of it. So this one is a double. This one is double. It is a socket. It is double socket. That is 3x6. Then here, where do we position our television? Okay, let's our television be here. We have 1 double here. Double socket to be here. We have another socket somewhere here. Yes, we have 1 here. We have 1 somewhere here. That is 3. Then over here we can have another one here. 2, 3, 4. So I want us to count our socket outlets. Remember, these socket outlets are going to be 13 amps sockets. So we're going to count them and know the total number of the socket outlets that we have here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17. Now we have 17 socket outlets. I want to show us in the calculation or load estimation or load assessment of the socket. What we normally assume is that by the time you plug your fan, you plug your one thing or the other, you charge your phone, you are charging your phone, for instance, and you plug an extension to one particular socket. For instance, in this sitting room, you plug one extension here, and here you plug a standing fan, you plug your phone, you plug your power bank, you plug maybe like 3 phones or 4. Over here, another person is plugging something over here. He or she plugs a rechargeable lantern or one thing or the other. Here, there's another fan. For instance, the AC is not on for now and they decided to use fan. So you observe that each particular socket, for instance, let's say this socket now, all the loads that have been plugged to one particular socket are up to 500 watts. 500 watts. Now 500 watts times the number of sockets that we have, that will be 6 times 6. That will be 3000 watts. 3000 watts. Now 3000 watts. 3000 watts. Remember, we have volts. We have the voltage and we need to find the current. The current, that's the ampere, the amperage. Now what we need to do here is to divide this 3000 by 240. Divide by 240, which is our normal voltage here in Nigeria. So by the time you divide it, you'll be getting close to 13 amps. You understand? So here we take the maximum of 6 socket outlets. We take the maximum of 6 socket outlets. And remember, if you consider diversity factor, you know that all these sockets will not be used at the same time. They will not be used at the same moment. So it's either you are using 2 or 3 and the other 3 are not put into use, or you are using 1 or 2. So when you consider diversity factor, you know that all these sockets will not be put into use. So having said that, I want us to do our routine. Remember, I said we have 17 socket outlets. So this 17 we are going to divide by 6. So we have 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 will give us 12. Then when you remove 12 from 17, it will remain 5. So we are going to have 3 circuits for our socket outlet. The first one, we are going to connect 6. We're going to count 6 that are close to each other. Then we look at the positioning, the next 6 that are close to each other. That is how to run it. Remember, even the socket outlets are wired in such a way that are parallel. We did parallel connection. Don't be confused by anything. I told you initially that the connection for our lighting circuit, it is always run parallel. Then that of the socket outlet is also run parallel. The distribution board is designed to distribute power in a parallel way. At any point in time, when you are asked whether it is parallel or series connection, don't be confused. They are all wired in parallel connection. In parallel connection, the voltage is always constant, so we can add the current. Take note of that. Now, in this particular demonstration, let's look at the ones that are closed. Let's look at the 6 ones that are closed. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. They are close to each other. So we can run it from here to this one, this is the 6th one, then we come to the DB. Then another one, we can run from here, we can run from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you can do it this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. No. It's better we connect the ones that are close to each other. So this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we can remove, we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 will go to this point. Then here, this one will go to this one, and we'll connect to other ones. Or we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, yes. We can connect these ones separately and these ones separately, but make sure that you are connecting them, the ones that are close to each other are connected together. So whether you are connecting from the top or from the floor of the house, make sure you obey this basic principle. Now what you do is that this is our DB, and remember we have already counted 4 ways, 1, 2, 3, 4 for our lighting point. So here we are going to connect our socket outlet. So this socket outlet, if you connect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, we are going to be in a right direction. So here we are going to connect this one to this one, this to this, this to this, this. You can pass through the corridor, you can pass through the wall, you can pass through the wall. From this point, we'll get to this, then maybe through the wall, and through the wall again, we can connect to this. Whichever way, just make sure you follow the principle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then you go to the DB from here, through back entry. That is another opening. You get that right? Yes. Now, we're going to connect these ones. I don't want this video to be very long. So here, we're going to connect these ones together. From this, we go to the DB. So from here, we're going this way. We want to run from here to this one. Yes. From here, we go this way to get to this. Either through back entry. Then from here, we can get to this and get to this. From here, we'll get to this through back entry. And from here, we can run our way through this way to get to this one. But you can follow this way just for better understanding. Yes, we have gotten 2. I want you to watch this video very carefully. Then the third one is going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this 5 from here will link to the DB. We can pass through this way from the ground. But here we are going to connect this to this. Here we are going to connect this to this. Then this one will come to this. This one can come to this. From here we go to the DB. That's 3 now. Now we want to talk about the AC, a water heater, and the cooker unit. Now let's assume that we have. Let's assume that here in the kitchen we have the cooker unit. We have the cooker unit here. This is the cooker unit. We have another socket that will be 15 amps here for the boiler, for the hot plate, and what again? Yes, we can use it for 1 or 2 things. So here we have seen the kitchen. Here we have AC. Yes, we have AC at the sitting room. This is our AC here. We have one AC. Let's put one there. We have one at the dining. We have one at the dining. Let's say we have one AC here at the dining. That is 2. Here in this room, we have one AC. Here in this room, we have one AC. How many ACs do we have now? Here in the kitchen, let's say we have one AC here at the kitchen. We have one AC here. How many ACs do we have? Now, remember that from our DB, we have gotten 4 points for the lighting point. The lighting point gave us 4 ways. Then for the sockets, the 13 amps socket, we have 3 ways. 3 ways. Then if you count our AC, here we have 1 AC, 2, 3, 4, 5. The master's bedroom should have at least 1 AC. Let's say we have 1 AC here. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have 6 ACs. 6 ACs. So each AC will go straight to the DB, the distribution board. Each AC goes straight to the distribution board. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That will be 6. So 6 ways already for the AC. We have 6 for the AC, 6 way. Then for this cooker unit and this, let's say we have 2 way. What again? Our water heater. We don't have water heater, so we add water heater. This is water heater. 1 water heater. We have 2. The water heater will give us 2. The water heater gives us 2 way. So if you sum up this, I think we're getting 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 6, that will be 13. 13 plus 4, that will be 17 ways. 17 ways. 17 ways. Then, in selecting our DP, we should select a DP that has more than 17 ways. You get that? You should select one that is more than 17 ways. The one that should have extra. The one that is either 22 ways or 24 ways, 24 way DP. So that by the time you take 17, you have remnant. If it is 20 way, by the time you use 17, you still have 3 remaining. So whichever way, just select a DB that is higher than this. So that by the time you install your conduit pipes from up and down, you will not occupy the whole DB, the whole spaces. You will put your pipes, yes, you can occupy the spaces, but make sure you don't remove anything from your DB. You will put your bushes, install your pipes or your conduit pipes. So for those of us that are beginners, this AC here will be represented by a socket. There will be a socket. You are not handling the AC now. Then this socket will be linked from up to this particular DB. They are coming straight to the DB. Each of them will be coming straight. You put the AC socket somewhere. You're not putting this AC. I just use this to remind us that there will be AC here. So you put the socket, connect them through your pipe to your distribution board. What again that is remaining? So here we are going to connect. Let me just run this straight to this point. For this one, we'll have a socket here, AC socket here. We're going to run this one to this point. This one will have AC socket somewhere here. We're going to run it to this point. This one, this 15 amp socket will go straight to the DB. This cooker unit will go straight to the DB. This one will go straight to the DB. This one will go straight to the DB through the socket outlets. That will be 15 amp socket. So these individual sockets, they are dedicated, individual circuits. They are dedicated circuits such that they don't share their circuit with any other. So here we are going to connect this one. This is the water heater. The water heater will firstly come to the switch. Let's say this is the water heater switch. It will firstly come to the switch. From here, you come to the switch. From here, you go to the load. That is how it is done. So here, we'll do the same thing. So at this point in time, I'll be ending this video. But before we continue, I would like to tell us something. In our next video, we'll be looking at the pipes. Sometimes it is a bit difficult to calculate the quantity or to note the quantity of pipes that are needed. For you to know the quantity of pipes that are needed or that will be needed in that particular building, you need to know the size of this building. You need to know the size of the rooms, the size of each space. so that by the time you route this pipe is from here to here, you will use the size of the building, the size of this certain room to know the length that will be coming from here to here. And with that, you will know the number of pipes, the size of pipes that will be needed. If it will be 3 bundles or 4 bundles, then you also include that of the lighting points. You will include them so that you don't make mistakes. Instead of running short of pipe, it's better for you to have a bit have SS, so that you don't run short of pipe. At this point in time, if you have watched this video and you have learned something new, I would like you to give us a big thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up, share with people, subscribe so that you don't miss any of our updates. Thank you for watching and remain blessed.